Hello and welcome to the Ending Body Burnout Show. We are your hosts, Chris and Philly, co-founders of a multi-award-winning functional medicine practice, serving busy people with energy, mood, and gut issues.
While busyness, addictive doing, people-pleasing, and perfectionism might be the norm, it's not normal, and it's a major contributor to health issues.
Our goal with this show is to give you a holistic root cause approach to healing your body so that you don't have to continue doctor or diet hopping or popping a gazillion supplements hoping something might stick.
So get ready to heal your body, get your spark back, deeply connect with yourself, and step into the life of your dreams.
Let's dive in. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome to this episode of the Ending Body Burnout Show. I am your host, Chris, and I'm here with my lovely wife, Philippa.
Hello. What voice is that?
In today's
Are we
episode,
doing like midnight?
Hi, welcome to Midnight Love Songs with Chris Billette. Tonight, we're going to hear one of your favorite tracks.
And I
From Celine Dion.
will always love you.
Sorry, ladies and gentlemen, that wasn't Celine Dion. That was Deline Sion.
Okay, so today on the podcast,
Let's keep that.
we are talking all about how you can access your inner strength and your inner knowing. And we're just going to roll with it. So we, at the time of this episode being published, we will be in a launch week for Ending Body Burnout Method, which is exciting times because we do only open 3 times a year for our program, which is the only way to work with us to really deeply get to the root cause of your body burnout. So we get really excited. We do only have limited spaces, and we have been talking with a lot of people this week and also leading up to doors opening, and had a lot of conversations with people. And something that we notice as a pattern are the fence sitters. It's kind of like, it all sounds great. I think this is what I need. I think this would be awesome, but I don't know. Can I? Should I? Is it going to work for me? And so this is a common human trait, by the way, that some people get stuck in, the pattern of analysis-paralysis, self-doubt, making excuses, and then not moving forward in creating or making a confident decision and going after your health, your healing, and even your dreams. So we thought we'd do an episode on accessing your inner strength, specifically around decision making, which will help leap you forward in your healing journey and create the health and life that you want. So this will be great if you are someone who's thinking about the program and you're like, oh, I don't know, should I, shouldn't I, can I, can't I, but it will also be great for anyone else listening. So even if you are a client or a past client, or you're not even interested in working with us, but you love just listening to our podcast, it's going to be so relevant for you as well, especially if you are someone who can get stuck in this analysis paralysis loop when it comes to making a decision.
Yeah, because this can be for somebody making a decision about, like, we're running this topic at the moment because this suits the world that we're in right now, with our clients and opening doors and all that sort of stuff. So that makes sense. But then for those of you who are perhaps listening to this not this week, so in the future, hi, how's it going over there?
10 years from now.
How you doing in the future? What's going on? Or you're in our method already and you're working with us. Pick a thing, anything where you feel like you're running that pattern that Philly was just mentioning, that analysis paralysis type pattern where you don't make a decision, you don't pull the trigger, you just kind of wait and wait and wait and wait, and you accumulate. If that sounds like you, keep listening and try and apply something, brainstorm to something.
And maybe you actually, if you think back in the last week or the last month, maybe there is something that you've been mulling over in terms of like, oh, this would be really good. It might even be like purchasing a robot vacuum cleaner, or it might be, what school should I send my child to, or what brand, diet should I do,
what brand ultralight quilt should you get?
Like whatever it is, should
was
I
me.
go for a walk every day or should I do something else? It's a common pattern that we actually see with people with body burnout. It goes very closely hand in hand with perfectionism patterns, which will lead to body burnout. Like, I have to get it right. I don't know. I have to research all the things before I make a decision because what if I get it wrong? And so it can get you stuck in that pattern.
Yeah.
Also, if you have unconscious core beliefs that are hidden or unresolved or not yet rewired, like there's something wrong with me, that will also cause someone to feel like they struggle to make decisions, like weak, incapable, there's broken somehow. It's like, well, you know, if in every cell of your body, in your unconscious mind, you believe that there's something wrong with you, making decisions can be really scary. If not dangerous to the unconscious mind. And so that's a really common pattern with people with body burnout. It's every single client that we work with in our method, we are getting to these deep root cause unconscious beliefs. And also it can cause you to put off taking action. So people who get stuck in body burnout can put off taking action because of this lack of or inability or scariness around making a decision. And therefore you continue to suffer or you get worse and it burns out the body systems even more. And it's also mentally exhausting and it puts you further into a fight, flight, freeze pattern and it literally will burn your body systems out. Not fun at all.
Do you know, there's one more thing that I notice is life just feels like it just goes by. It just slips through your fingers. You feel like you're just watching it. And some of my clients mentioned that they feel like they're just observing, that they're not quite living, you know.
Yeah.
And that sometimes happens because, well, you're thinking, you're logicizing, you're intellectualizing the process. You're not actually participating in life.
Yeah.
You know, you're holding yourself back.
Yeah. We actually released a podcast just the week before where we interviewed one of our clients, Sally. Yay. And if you listen to that podcast, she talked about the different warring parts of her, which caused her to get stuck in this analysis, paralysis, shutdown, exhaustion, overwhelm pattern.
What a combo.
Yeah. and during the podcast episode, she shared what that looked like to get to the root and to essentially integrate, transform, rewire. So if you haven't listened to that one, that would be a great one to go back to after listening to this podcast episode for more evidence of that it's like so possible to unravel these patterns. And when you do, you heal, not just mentally, not just emotionally, but literally your physical health symptoms start disappearing as well.
What's that Pantene Pro V? Do you remember that ad? It won't happen overnight, but it will happen.
Yeah.
I like it.
Okay, so let's dive in. So really at the end of this episode, we want to help you to access your own inner strength and knowing so you can make decisions, solve problems, move forward in your goals, heal, thrive, grow, and create what you want. And we thought we'd start off with talking about inner strength myths, because sometimes when people hear the word inner strength, this might not be you, but I know that some people can hear that and be like, meh, I don't really have much inner strength. Nah, oof, I don't even know what that would feel like. The myth is that's a lie. Everyone has inner strength. You are born with a tremendous amount of inner strength. Even a newborn little baby has a lot of it. So you do have inner strength. The difference between looking at someone who steps into their power, makes confident decisions, moves forward, creates what they want, and the person that doesn't is that the person that does move forward knows how to access their inner strength. The person who stays stuck just hasn't learnt yet how to access it. And you might have accessed inner strength at some point. You might have done that unconsciously, unintentionally, but most likely if you're a human being and you've lived a life, you have accessed it. It's just that it's unconsciously incompetent in terms of how that shows up, and it might not be showing up very often because you don't know how to access it especially when times get tough.
And it's scary sometimes. There's a guy who's really famous for his quote. He says, "Stay hard." This I might be speaking to the guys in the audience, that the 1% of our population listening to this.
10%.
10%. Whoa!
We've got the stats.
We got the stats. 10%. So fellas, but also I feel like this is a masculine ideology, and it's stay hard, work. Don't stop when you're done. Don't stop when you're tired. Stop when you're done. These just finish. These are very masculine concepts and ideas. The only way you gain mental toughness is to do things you're not happy to do. This is very hardcore. And for those of you who are listening to this, maybe overwhelmed and stretched in body burnout, that's a very dangerous ideology. It's very threatening. It's very hurtful, very hard. It's very triggering because you're exhausted, you're drained, you're tired. And so to think about stretching yourself and accessing inner strength, but then you've got the popular ideologies of today screaming at you, stay hard, masculine, do, effort. Wow. That's quite draining when the stereotype of strength is that sort of masculine ideology, right? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. So if we're breaking myths around inner strength actually isn't that.
Yeah.
Like it's not
cool.
It's not willpower, it's not self-discipline, it's not go hard. It's actually deeply trusting yourself. Oops, now we can hang up the episode.
Yeah, the end. So thank you guys for listening. No,
we will get to that very shortly. But yeah, no, that's a good point, Chris. That's inner strength. That's not what we're talking about here.
Because that's really exhausting, and I've felt
it'll be wrapped up in perfectionism patterns as well. So if you have lived a pattern where you attach your worth on what you can do and what you can create and what you can produce, but now you're burnt out and it's just like, I don't have anything left in the tank. It's because you've been accessing that toxic masculine go hard or go home.
It's still victim energy. You're still vibing the victim vibes. It's like, I'm going to prove to you that I'm not enough. Even though I believe I'm not enough, I'm going to do all I can to prove to you that I am. It's still got the vibes of the victim energy.
Yeah.
So anyway, that's what we're talking about. That's not what we're talking about here today.
Yeah. Okay, so when you access this deep trust with self, inner strength and knowing, this is what it will feel like. This is what it will look like. This is what it will give you. You will feel like you can take control and you're being in control of yourself. You can choose what you want and how you feel and how you show up. You can make aligned decisions and you can back yourself for those. So you make a decision and it's like, yeah, I'm all in, rather than the opposite of that, where it's like, I've just, joined the Ending Body Burnout program and now I'm like freaking out and I don't know if I've done the right choice. Quick
Doubting.
refund.
Yeah, running away.
You'll feel, when you access inner strength and knowing, you'll feel confident, calm, relaxed, grounded, sure in yourself, and of yourself and how you're moving forward. And I think we all want more of that. Yeah? Amen.
Push it, sister.
Not only does it feel good, but it's
not sister. That's a very Tasmanian thing to say to my wife. Push it, baby.
Fun fact, Chris and I grew up on opposite sides of Australia, but our
Ends
of Australia, but our ancestors both came on the
First
Fleet and were convicts in Tasmania.
Bunch of criminals.
So we have looked down the timelines and I don't think we're related.
We're not related. Not very Tasmanian of us.
Yeah.
Yeah, my family moved away and then came back.
Yeah. Okay. All right. So
saw the beauty.
3 things before we get into the 5 things that you can do to help strengthen your inner strength and knowing. I want to talk about 3 things that will weaken your inner strength. And those 3 things, well, we'll start off with the first one, is victim mentality. So that, looks like lack, scarcity, fear, poor me, feeling sorry for self, which, by the way, it's kind of crappy. If we just think about, if you're stuck in a chronic body burnout, you've got health issues that have been going on for years, if not decades. And maybe that's impacting relationships, work, finances, business. Yeah, it's crap. We don't have to pretend that it's not. So it's normal for someone to drop down into a victim mentality every now and then, maybe even more often than not. A lot of people do it. But when you do drop down into this victim mentality, it weakens your inner strength and your inner knowing. Because all of a sudden, all you're consumed about or looking at is poor me, feeling sorry for yourself, waiting for someone to come and rescue you, waiting to have enough, whether it's time, money, energy, so that you can do the things to heal and be well. And it just keeps you stuck. So it weakens you and it disempowers you.
So therefore, what we're not saying is to dislike that part of you that's in this stage, is to wrap your loving arms around that version of yourself and accept that you're in this state, and take responsibility, not blame, not accuse, not vilify and hate, but to say, I see you wanting for something different. I get it. And then to transcend, to grow, to evolve out of that. But first you got to recognize, that's where I am. I'm down here. in shame victim land. And I'm responsible and I got this.
And I like that you mentioned like that part is kind of stuck down in victim land. So it's like being aware of that part and what does that part need. And by you starting to show self-compassion and gentleness to self, you've actually automatically moved above the line, moved into empowerment and no longer in victim. So it's almost like you can actually hold to what feel like contradictory parts of you at the same time, and that's actually what heals you. So you're not pretending, you're not kind of like, again, forcing yourself to be happy and okay about this and all right, I'll just pull my socks up and I'll get on with it. It's like, I noticed that I'm in victim land. Oh, okay, and this is the part of me that's really sad at the moment, or angry or frustrated. And you know what? I'm gonna love this part, because this part needs something right now. Maybe it also needs something outside of you. Like maybe there is some support, but you still need to help yourself to find that support and find what's going to be aligned with you.
Yeah.
And I love asking the question too. And by the way, like I slip down in victim land maybe like at least once a day. And it's like, oh, hello. So instead of getting stuck in why is it happening to me, start looking for how it's happening for you. So what's the lesson? What's the wisdom? What's the gift in this crappy or hard situation? And when you can actually see that lesson, then it's like, oh, okay, this is happening. The universe is working in my favor here. Oh, wow, okay. And then automatically you're moving into empowerment. Another thing that blocks or weakens your inner strength and knowing is when you start outsourcing decisions to others. And again, remember we're talking about this in the context of decision making and making confident decisions and moving forward with confidence. So if you're constantly outsourcing decisions to others, that's weakening, disempowering you. It's okay to ask questions. It's okay to get other people's feedback. But if you're constantly referring outwards so that other people can decide what's good for you, then you're not strengthening your decision-making muscle.
Yeah. And now I think you're about to talk about this, but sometimes we'll have clients will say to us something like, I want to have check-ins with my partner or my friend or my social group or you guys to see how I'm going, or to help me to do the thing or something. It sounds nice to be able to have support like that, but I think that the quick check-in whenever that statement comes up, and it happens often, is to just do a little vibe check with that person, and just to say, hey, just do a quick little vibe check. Underneath that, is there any fear or insecurity or people pleasingness, or is there a little pattern in there around having the urge to check in with your partner? Is this the vibe of love and support and acceptance, or is this the vibe of fear and outsourcing? So we're talking about, hey, have that support, but like, you got this. Keep your power. You're strong enough. You've got this inner strength. Have that partner, sibling, friend, practitioner, but most important, you've got you.
Yeah, and it will show up in two main ways, this outsourcing to others. So Chris mentioned people pleasing, which can be really common. So it's like, all right, especially for I see this not a lot in males, but very often in women who are married or have an intimate partner. It's kind of like, I'll just have to check to make sure that it's okay if I buy those lab tests, or if it's okay if I don't know, sign up to your ending body burnout method. I'll just need to have a chat with my husband. I rarely hear that from a male. I've only ever heard it once from a male client where he has said, I'll just have to check with my wife. So it's also patriarchal, kind of cultural as well, that women feel like they...
I've got something to say about that.
That women feel like they need to ask permission in order to do something. And it is people pleasing. It's kind of like, I don't want to rock the boat. I don't want to cause conflict. I don't want to take away from the family. And so essentially there's lack of self-worth underneath it. There's something underneath where you don't feel like you're enough to just make the decision for yourself, because you know that it feels right and it feels good for you.
I think this is why one of the reasons why we have more women than men in our Anybody Burnout method is because guys actually do it in a backwards kind of way. To prove their strength, therefore covering up their insecurity, they won't ask for help and they won't reach out. And they won't talk about it.
Oh, you
and
mean they just kind of either DIY it through YouTube videos or...
if at all.
Mask it
or mask
with
suppress.
Alcohol, sport, TV,
run
Xbox.
Away. So whatever it is, it'll be... If there's a problem, the problem's going to stay there. It's just going to be negatively expressed, repressed, suppressed, something like that. And for guys, that looks like not reaching out, and therefore the stoic appearance covers up for that inner feeling of I'm not enough, I'm not strong enough, and I will do anything to make sure nobody, not even you person, Chris and Philly, who are trying to help me with this one thing, I will make sure that nobody in the world sees what I see about myself. I think that's the guy thing, masculine thing.
Generally speaking.
Yeah, almost all guys.
One other thing around that before we move on to the third point is it can also be a bit of a trauma response. So if you've had an experience in the past, even as a little kid or teen or earlier in your adult years where you did actually make some decisions and it went wrong, then decision making can feel really unsafe. And so therefore it's it feels safer to outsource my decision making to someone else. Also, there can be a little bit of victim mentality in that too, because, if things go wrong, it's their fault, not my fault. If this doesn't work for me, it's not me who made the decision, it was their decision. Could happen in a marriage sometimes. I'm doing a little smile because I'm like, I can think about in the past, or I'm like, Chris, you decide, and then if it doesn't work, it's all your fault. Okay, the third thing that will weaken your inner strength and knowing is getting stuck in perfectionism pattern of, what if I'm wrong? I need to do more research. So if you're noticing this pattern, what if I'm wrong? I need to do more research. And then 6 months later, you're still doing research and you still haven't made a decision. This is absolutely going to weaken your inner strength and your inner knowing. And this will, again, come from a deep unconscious core belief. It will come from experiences in the past where you're terrified to make the wrong choice. for fear of exposure and what it might mean about you. And so therefore you make no choice at all. Or, you know, you make the wrong choice and then you've wasted a bunch of time, money, energy. Other people might point their finger at you and say, see, I told you it wasn't going to work, and you've disappointed other people. So this will also weaken and disempower you when you're running this strategy. Sometimes it can also show up as like not just research, but just again asking more and more and more people are waiting for the perfect sign. It's like I got to wait until all the ducks are in the row and then I'll know that this is the right thing. There's never going to be the right time. So trust your inner knowing, which we will get to in a seckie. And different people are different. So I would say do a reasonable amount of research and learning. I actually think that's really important. Sometimes we have had some people join our program, Ending Body Burnout Method, from a referral, and they have no idea what they're getting into. And it can go two ways. Either they're like, you know, they need a lot of education initially in order to be on board, on the same page, to see how this can work for them. Or they're like, what am I doing? And then they kind of just disappear. They run away. It's like, I didn't know this is what I was signing up for. So I think it's really important to actually do some research, learn about the thing that you want to make a decision on, whether it's like a physical thing you want to purchase or a program you want to purchase or a place you want to visit or the school that you want your kids to go to. But when it feels aligned, take action. So if you're researching more than 6 months, I mean, I don't think there's any time frame. I'm someone who is quite slow in making a decision. Definitely in the past, there was a lot of fear energy underneath that. Now it's more kind of just like a slowness in a, actually, no, if the pain or the problem or the struggle is high enough, I will make a decision really fast. If it's kind of like that would be a nice thing to do, you know, I'll just sit with it for a while until I'm like, all right, ready to go. Whereas you're a bit more, you do a little bit of research, hey, but then you kind of just jump in.
I do. I'm as a non-neurotip, I will become immersed in research, and then I ding, and then it's done, and then I'm like, add to cart, purchase, and Philly's like, hey, what's you doing? And I'm like, oh, this. What? How come? I'm like, this reason. So yeah, I'm very comfortable accessing my inner strength. Maybe my challenge is a little bit different to the topic of today's call. It's about having some catch ups and bringing others who are meaningful along for the ride, not just going solo.
There is research. It's really from a marketing business point of view that people generally need to consume about 7 hours of content before they make a decision to purchase something. And I would also apply that to something that you're not purchasing but you're choosing to do, which is cool. So it's kind of like if you're someone stuck in this over analysis and then you get paralysis and then you continue researching, it's just like I'd actually give yourself a little bit of a time frame and say no more than 7 hours. If after 7 hours of consuming this content it doesn't feel right or aligned, cool, go to something else. If it does, it's like cool, pull the ready to go button.
That's about right, I reckon, based on my experience of myself, because I watch everything in 2-speed, so it's about 3.5 hours of content for me. Yeah, that's good.
Okay. Oh, I don't know if I should. I had a story. Okay, I'll just real briefly share this story because it aligns, or it practically shows how I was actually weakening my inner strength and knowing really recently when I was preparing this podcast episode.
Amazing. Yeah,
it was literally like a week or two. I think it was last week. And just for a little bit of context, so if you're a client of ours, and you attend or watch back our live workshops. Oh no, I've spoke about it on stories as well. So anyway, if you're in the inside knowing of me, Philly, it was about a month ago I got gastro for 2 days. Thought I was going to die, but I didn't. Recovered fine from it, but it threw my hormones really out of whack. So I literally, like, it disappeared. I literally skipped a whole period, and I've got my period now. Yay. But it was,
we thought we were going to have a baby.
I think
we thought we did some pregnancy tests.
It was about a 7-week cycle, which is very long. And so, yeah, I did a couple of pregnancy tests because I'm like, holy crap, am I pregnant? What's going on? But anyway, what I noticed was not only did my period disappear, but I felt quite hormonal some days. Some days were fine, but other days I was just like, I don't feel myself. I feel apathetic. I even said to Chris, I've lost my mojo. What's wrong with me? I struggled getting into things. I struggled making decisions, and I was feeling quite emotional on some days, including this day that I was preparing for this podcast. So I was massively dropping into victim mentality. And like I could even hear it in my language, in my thought patterns and what I was saying out loud. It was like, it's my hormones, blaming my hormones. I can't do this. Chris, you do this. I do so much for this podcast. Amazing. I prepare so much. It's your turn to step up. I didn't say that out loud to Chris. It was more passive aggressive. And it's like, this sucks. Why am I feeling hormonal? Well, I know. It's like, I hate the gastro. So I was massively victim.
Victim mode activated.
And then, like, I just struggled to prep for this podcast. So I was coming at it from a place of weakness. I couldn't even make a decision around like the topic, and then I eventually got to the topic, and then I couldn't make a decision around what to put in the topic, and I started outsourcing to others. Like I literally started looking for other people's opinions. So I'm like, who else has done a podcast on this topic? That confused me even more because I'm like, I don't want to copy them, and they also don't have the same audience as us. And then I'm like, Chris, what should we do? And then Chris is like, I'll use ChatGPT. And then I'm like, I've already done that, and ChatGPT didn't give me the right answers.
I love it. It was, to put it succinctly, you're like, Chris, I need some help. I need some help from you for this topic of not externalizing and not outsourcing responsibility, and to reclaim your power and to notice your inner strength. I'm like, so like right now, like you need help to do what you're doing right now.
Yeah, exactly. And so it was so funny. Oh, actually, before I get to the light bulb moment, I was also, playing like that perfectionism pattern as well of like, what if I get it wrong? I'm like, this is going to be a really important episode because it'll be dropping during the launch period, and it might help people to like step into their own inner knowing and their inner power so they can heal and be well and take the steps. And so, I'm like thinking about other people too, and I'm like, I don't know if this is going to land for people. And then when I asked Chris for help, or really I was just asking him to solve the problem for me and make a decision, so I didn't have to do it anymore. Then I got clear on, this isn't just about inner strength, it's about making a decision because I'm currently stuck here. And then all of a sudden, light bulb moment, I went for a walk in the afternoon. I didn't look at this podcast episode until the day after, and then I opened up my laptop and all these ideas and creative juices started flowing. So during that light bulb moment and what I did afterwards, I was actually able to step into strengthening my inner strength and inner knowing. And this is what we want to take you through now. The 5 practical strategies or steps to help you access your inner strength and your inner knowing.
5 practical steps to help you with your inner strength and knowing.
Yeah. And as I was mapping these out, I kind of like tapped into what I do. And it's quite linear. Now, you don't have to do these like 5 steps in a linear way. There might just be 1 or 2 that really resonate, that it's like, oh yeah, I might practice and try that on. Personally, for me, I stack all 5 of these on together. So number 1 is trust that deepest part of you that wants the best for you. Now, some people will use different language for that. So it's like trust your intuition, trust your gut, trust your heart, trust your soul, trust your spirit, trust your higher brain or higher mind. I like to just like mush all those together and say, trust the deepest part of you that wants the best for you. So that deepest part of you that's just yearning for health and vibrancy and wants you to thrive. And instead of getting stuck in your head, analyzing every angle, just drop into your body, because this deepest part of you, it's in your body. It's in your unconscious mind. It's not in the logical, rational part of you, in your brain. And this inner part of you, this inner self, it'll always give you an instinctual response. So even if you were to reverse engineer when you first started making a decision, generally speaking, we get an immediate yes or no feeling before our brain starts creating stories about why you should or shouldn't do it. So really tapping into that, and sometimes it can be nuanced where like we're strengthening a muscle here, so you might not notice it yet. And if you struggle to do that, if you feel like you're up in your head, just take a deep breath. And as you breathe out, imagine dropping your head into your heart and even placing a hand on your heart and ask, is this right? And that helps to get out of that rational, logical, like it's not going to work, the monkey reptile part of the brain, and down into your heart, into that inner knowing. We have had many clients share with us that they had a strong intuitive pull to work with us inside the Ending Body Burnout method. Some have even said they were spiritually led. They said a prayer and like the next day or the next minute, it's like, whoa, Facebook ad for exactly what I've been looking for.
Do you know, I've actually got a similar sort of thing for this. I just want to share the screen for a second. For those of you who are on YouTube watching this is our get into flow model. This is very similar to other flow models that are out there. Mihai, Csikszentmihalyi, came out with this model of flow. This is an adaptation. My friend and mentor and coach Kylie Ryan has a very similar model to this. We've changed the words. They all start with F. To get into flow, we found some people are in flounder. They really just feel like they're not happy, they're not finding pleasure, they're not moving forward, they're not living the life that they want, and they're not accessing their inner strength. So for people who are down, either in force or flounder, they're not doing what they need to do, or they're not getting what they want to get, or they're trying to force it. You've got to start accessing that inner strength and really feel into choices and decisions. And so what my first port of call is for when someone's in flounder or force is to feel good. And sometimes that looks like making decisions that feel good but maybe aren't healthy. They're not the best decisions, but they're intuitive and they're all about listening to yourself and getting into a positive state. For example, having some wonderful ice cream. I've got a client recently who really started to listen to herself. And if you're listening, you know who you are. And I love you and you're wonderful. And you had some ice cream recently. And I celebrate you and that wonderful choice, because for the longest time, you weren't listening to yourself and you're putting off making decisions. And then look at you. You went from flounder or force, and you started to really pay attention to your inner intuition and listen to your needs, and that is awesome. Now, fantasy is the quadrant where she got to, which isn't optimal. So instead of trying to suppress the intuition and the inner strength and not having the ice cream, now start training that muscle that you just accessed. Start training it. Instead of trying to suppress the intuition, now start getting better decisions. So instead of having the ice cream, maybe it's a homemade organic or blah, blah, blah.
Panna
or something.
Ice cream.
Panna, or even what you made for Father's Day the other day.
Yeah, it's just frozen bananas with coconut sugar and coconut cream. So yummy. And the peanuts.
So yummy. I loved it. So anyway, so that I think the first port of call is get into yourself and connect with your intuition and your inner strength. And that's going to look like making decisions, and then start training. After you got that activated, that muscle activated, now get better at making healthier decisions. That's what flow looks like. Oh, my hand went into the others. Does that make sense?
Yeah, and sometimes it doesn't lead to immediate results. Like we had a client sign up to our program last intake, which would have been, when was that, May? And she was someone who was just like, this is like, I'm having an intuitive pull to this. She kept getting emotional about it, and she just knew in her heart that this was going to be something that would help her. Now, she was a super slow action taker because she had a lot of subconscious blocks around putting herself first, to work on herself and in herself. She was running the pattern of a lot of people pleasing, over responsibility, and just felt really guilty doing anything for herself. And this went on for a couple of months. And then last session that I had with her, which was a one-on-one session, we did some parts work and really spoke to the part that was just like the deepest part of her that wants the best for her, the one that was yearning, desiring for this, like it felt like an intuitive pull. And then this other part that was saying, yeah, but there's so much guilt when I put myself first, and so keep people pleasing and doing things for other people. Anyway, it wasn't the last, it was the second session. Anyway, whenever it was, I just caught up with her recently, and this is a month after we did the process together and really unpacked it and really shifted some unconscious blockages. In 1 month, her life has changed. Like literally, she said, whatever happened in our last session, it has become life-changing. And like, she's had dramatic changes in how she feels about herself, in her behavioral patterns. Even in her energy level, she's feeling lighter. Her mental health is so much better, like insane. So when you listen to yourself, only good things can happen. Amazing. Okay, number 2. So future self-aligned. So this will help you access your inner strength, your inner knowing, when you imagine who you want to be. So who is this healed version of yourself? This is a powerful brain rewiring technique that we work with our clients on. And it can also help you make decisions in a confident, knowing way. So when you can get in touch with who your future self is, what does she or he feel and hear and say and know, and what does he or she want and how do they act, then you can make aligned decisions based on your future healed and vibrant self. So a great little just question to ask yourself in the moment, if you're feeling this analysis paralysis, is what would the version of me who's already healed or successful or free choose right now? And then, simple as that, choose that, even if it stretches you, because it will. I had I'm going to a beautiful retreat in October that one of our past clients is putting on, which is just like a full circle moment. It's so wonderful. But before I chose to book into that, it was literally like the day before, or maybe a few days before, I was just getting clear on like, what do I want? What's my dream outcome? What are the things that I desire? And in my heart of hearts, I just wanted more retreat experiences, but not kind of like fluffy ones, or not kind of like business strategy ones. I wanted a retreat that was just like going to move my soul. And then literally the next day, Mel sent me an email. It was really to just say, hey, would you mind sharing the retreat with your people? And I'm like, sure. And I've just booked in because literally yesterday, I know that my future self wants this. And so I booked in, and I don't think I even asked you your permission for that. Or I don't think I even ran it by you. I was just like, hey, I'm going to the Gold Coast, the Hinterlands,
and I
Tweed
remember,
Valley it was.
I remember when you told me, I was like, oh, cool.
Yeah. I was like, yeah, it is cool.
You're like, yeah, it is. So there. And I'm like, it sounds amazing. Yeah.
Now, what will happen is the first time or times you practice choosing what your future self will choose, you're going to have a bit of a freak out moment. Highly likely because your nervous system and brain hates change. When that happens, though, like a freak out moment will be all of a sudden it's like, oh no, I don't know if I've made the right decision.
Run away, escape,
run away.
hide.
If that happens, it's not a sign that you've made the wrong decision. It's just your neurology having a little freak out. So take a deep breath, come back to the body, imagine your head dropping down into your heart and into your inner knowing. It's like, and just reminding yourself that I've made an aligned choice here. Okay, number 3, owning the choice fully. So, which is really a follow on from what I just said. So if you've made a decision based on your inner knowing and your future aligned self, now it's time to go all in. And I mean, short and sweet, just go all in. And by going all in, it also means you're fully giving up the victim card, especially when things get tough or when you're not getting the results straight away or the thing that you chose to do isn't quite, especially something like the Ending Body Burnout method, which is a transformative process. You're not going to, in one day, automatically have a miracle healing. Although we did have a client sign up, I don't know, it was like maybe about 6 or 8 months ago, who literally after she said yes and signed up to the program, she had a reduction of inflammation levels by 50%.
Wow.
She's actually shared her story. So that's Amanda's story if you want to search that on our podcast.
Amazing.
But someone else who just had a miraculous healing experience was Linda, who also shared her story on our podcast. That's episode 87. She found my book in a health food store. She read it in a day. She signed up the next day. Luckily, the doors were open. So everything was all working in her favor. And she literally just, as she read the book, she's like, this is me, this is me, this is me. And I think that this is going to work. Actually, think wasn't even in her vocabulary. Yeah. She believed that this would work. So she made a choice, owned her decision, went all in, and literally within 3 months, rheumatoid arthritis, fibromyalgia, health anxiety, food sensitivities, tinnitus, chronic inflammation, all disappeared. So that's what happens when you listen to yourself, to the deepest part of you that wants the best for you. Only good things are going to happen.
Boom. And I think that's what I was talking about before as well, is when you really listen to yourself, you lean into it, it feels good. And then you'll get better at making better decisions. And I think that's what leads us to the next bit. Is at the start, it's a little bit messy. It's not dialed in just yet.
Yeah. So number 4 is let it be messy. And this is basically the opposite of perfectionism. So if you're running that pattern of like all or nothing, got to get it right, got to do all the steps perfectly so I can get the result. Again, perfectionism is going to weaken your inner strength, and it's a huge reason why people get stuck in their decision making and going all in. So when you can just start practicing letting it be messy, even before you make a decision, it's going to quiet down that amygdala part of the brain that gets stuck in analysis paralysis. Paralysis of what if I get it wrong? What if I choose the wrong thing? Or what if I do this thing but I can't do it right? It's like, hey, let's start being honest with yourself and saying you probably won't get it right the first time. There's lots of people who start working through our method and they're like messily, organically, spirally, trying things, failing, trying again, failing. Failing is not failure. It's just like you haven't quite got it yet. It's just feedback. So when you can be messy, or just start practicing being messy, imperfect, make mistakes, try again. That's all part of healing, and it's actually very necessary. And if you stuff up or you don't get it right the first time, it doesn't mean that you're no good. It's just part of the process. So lean in and be messy. You just said it, like one of my very favorite affirmations when I was unraveling my own past perfectionism patterns was there is no failure, only feedback. Probably said it to myself like maybe 20 times a day, but it worked because now I'm like, whatever, like if I stuff up, if I mess up, cool. It's just a bit of feedback. It's fine.
All beautiful creations come with a bit of mess.
Yeah.
Literally.
Okay. Last one. So the last point, number 5, that will help you strengthen your inner strength and weakness. And this is probably one of my favorite ones, because I didn't used to believe this. But number 5 is there is no wasted time or money.
Boom.
Yep. So this
Put that on a t-shirt, baby.
This is really powerful, especially if you are running a scarcity pattern around money or time. So there is no wasted time or money. So personally for me, I ran a massive money scarcity in the past. It was probably the source of many of our relationship tensions. And it was it was a big thing that was causing stress and burnout and physical symptoms to arise because I was so dysregulated about that. And it was a massive sticking point for me to be able to make decisions, especially when it came to a financial investment. And I'm talking about even like choosing to pay for a $100 course or a $10,000 one-on-one program. Didn't really matter how much or how little it was. It was still like, am I going to make the right choice? $100. Oh, I don't know. What if I just waste my money? What if I buy the thing and it doesn't work, or I can't do it? Or what was promised to me isn't given, then I've wasted all that money. You might resonate with that. Maybe you might resonate more with time. Maybe time might be a bigger sticking point for you. Like, what if it doesn't work? Then I've wasted all this time, the last 6 months or the last, 3 weeks or the last 12 months. It's all just a waste of time when I could have done something else and got the result over there. So from someone who used to run this pattern, let me tell you, and also someone who started trying to resolve her health issues back in my 20s. I'm now 41 years old. So 20 years of experience in investing a bucket load of time and money into healing and health and vibrancy. And like now I spend more money on like personal development and just like going the next level. There is no wasted time or money. And I do remember in the past, I felt like there were things that I wasted my money or my time on. But now in hindsight, I can look back and hand on heart, they were not a waste at all, because they were the stepping stones that led me to having the results that I now have. They taught me so many things about what wasn't working or what I didn't want. But most of all, they taught me a lot about what was important. It taught me a lot about myself.
Yeah.
So there never is wasted time or money.
Well, the opposite of being a victim is a victor. And when you're a victor, life happens for you. You use it. You use the resources in this arena that we're all in life. When dirt gets kicked up in your face, you use the dirt, you use it, you use the stuff, use all the tools at your advantage. You don't need anything. You already have everything inside of you that you need. And so that includes experiences. So anything that you have experienced, anything you have participated in, everything that you've purchased, everything that you've done, it's all giants, and you're always standing on the shoulders of giants, and you're always growing, you're always moving forwards. Life happens for you.
Yeah. Love it. Okay. So that's it. If you want some more support, more guidance in terms of breaking through doubts, rewiring your brain, we do have some free events this week if you're listening to the podcast episode on the day that it's published. So this week we've got our free event, Rewire Your Brain to Heal Body Burnout. That's happening on 23rd, 24th and 25th at 12 p.m. AEST. So come along to that if you would love to. It's a great way of just experiencing how Chris and I work with our clients inside our Ending Body Burnout method as well. So essentially every day we take you through the 3 main steps in our method that help our clients to end their body burnout. And you'll get like so much practical coaching, and we'll take you through some somatic practices as well in those sessions, which is always lovely. And then on Monday, the 29th of September, we also have a breakthrough your 5 healing blocks. I think I've stuffed that title up. Breakthrough 5 healing blocks to end your body burnout. Yeah, something like that. But essentially, we will go deeper on today's topic where we'll help you break through 5 of the most common blocks that stop people from moving forward in their healing journey. That is based on working with thousands of clients and over almost 30 years of combined experience in the health industry.
It'll really build on what we've been talking about today, that workshop for sure.
Yeah. And if you would love to work with us one-on-one, our Ending Body Burnout method is open now. Doors do close on the 30th of September, so we do only have doors open for a week. There are limited spaces. There's 2 options of working with us inside the program. So there's a private one-on-one and then there's a semi-private. Both of those do include one-on-one coaching, consulting, support. The private one includes more. So we have very limited spaces.
Yeah, and that's not a sales pitch.
It's not a sales
literally
pitch.
we only have limited spaces.
Yeah.
Guys.
Look, this number might change because our doors would have been open to our wait list before this podcast releases, but I think I worked out we could only take in about 27 people.
That's not much.
And most of the time, 50 to 75% of people join up during the early bird waitlist period, which has happened before this episode drops. So if you are a keen bean, just go down to the show notes and you can find all those links.
Hurry up, get into it. I love it. All right, guys. Well, thank you so much for joining us. Thank you for being here with us. We look forward to seeing you soon.
Thank you so much for listening. We so appreciate you. If you'd like to give us extra smiles, drop us a review and spread the love by sharing this episode.
You can also rate your own state of burnout and the root cause contributors by taking our Ending Body Burnout assessment on our website. And if you're interested in learning about our group or one-on-one Ending Body Burnout programs, shoot us a DM via Instagram or Facebook.
Have the best day ever.